This week, Florida approved thousands of acres to be preserved in its wildlife corridor to help protect endangered species like the panther. I'm Fox 4's Austin Shagorodsky. But with development spreading fast, a state conservationist tells me this might not be enough. Governor DeSantis approved protecting more than 34,000 acres through the Florida Forever program, including nearly 4,000 in Hendry and Collier counties. This preserves land in the wildlife corridor that stretches up the state, crucial for species like the panther. However, Executive Director of the South Florida Wildlands Association, Matthew Schwartz, believes the reality is more complicated.
The initial reaction to any land in Florida that's taken off the table as far as development is something we enjoy hearing about. It's a good thing.
But Schwartz says while land preservation makes headlines, what's lost to development doesn't get the same attention.
That would give a truer picture of what's happening with development and what's happening with remaining panther habitat. Panther habitat is not protected.
Earlier this year, I told you about the state's plan to build wildlife crossings to help panthers safely move north. It's a key step under the Endangered Species Act, which requires multiple established populations for their recovery. But Schwartz says if development keeps sprawling, there may be nowhere left for them to go.
Central Florida is already too developed, crisscrossed with highways, developments, and the public lands are very small compared to the public lands in Southwest Florida.
And just this week, I told you about an 1,100 home development that got approved in Alva, an area where people tell me they see panthers often. Schwartz says projects like this bring more cars, making a growing problem worse. FWC reports vehicle collisions cause 90% of panther deaths. There are only about 200 Florida panthers left in the wild, and last year 36 were killed, just shy of a record high, and 3 have already died this year.
And if you take roughly 2 cars per household and times the number of vehicle trips per day, we're adding tens of thousands of new vehicles onto the roads right in the same area that we're preserving the habitat.
Ultimately, Schwartz says he's not hopeful that preserving land alone will save the wildlife corridor.
If we want to have wildlife in the state, we're going to have to make really difficult decisions about where people can and cannot live.
Reporting in Fort Myers, I'm Austin Shagorodsky, Fox 4 News.